So you've been grinding for hours trying to fully level up your First Descendant roster, right? But if you're still stuck running the same missions over and over, well, you might be doing it wrong. Don't worry though, I've got the solution to save you time, effort, and a lot of sanity. But first, let's break down the madness because boy, do we have a grind on our hands.
Tux makes it exciting!
So if you've leveled up even one Descendant, you already know this pain. It takes between 8 to 12 crystallization catalysts and 1 energy activator just to max out a Descendant. Right now, we've got 16 Descendants on the roster, not including non-ultimate duplicates. So to level 1 Descendant from 1 to 40, you'll need about 1.86 million XP. The best mission for XP farming, that's the Asylum. Well, you'll earn about 350k XP per run. Sounds good, right? Well, each run takes about 4 minutes with a decent team and maybe a bunny hop or two, which means it'll take about 6 runs to get you from level 1 to 40. That's roughly 24 minutes per Descendant. Sounds pretty sweet. But here's the catch. You've got to repeat this process 11 more times on that same Descendant. That's 72 runs total, or almost 5 hours just grinding the same mission. That drives me mad. But if you're leveling an ultimate Descendant, you might catch a break. Some of them already come with pre-catalyzed slots, cutting your rundown time to 54 runs, which is about 4 hours. Still, 4 hours of the same mission? Whew. Okay, let's talk about the real problem. So you've done the grind, you've put in the hours, you're ready to max out your Descendant, but wait, what about your mods? Yeah, those need leveling too. And that's where the real kicker comes in, because it's gonna cost you about 29 million in gold and 2.9 million in Kuiper to fully level up a single Descendants mods. Go ahead, check your wallet. How much gold do you have stashed? Because running the Asylum 72 times won't even touch that 29 million gold problem. Oh, and don't forget, you're gonna need gold to craft those catalysts and activators. That's 750,000 for an energy activator and 2.2 million for 12 catalysts. Even if you have some slots pre-filled on your Descendant, that's still about 1.8 million more on top of that 29 million, bringing the grand total to 31.6 million in gold per Descendant. Yikes. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, you probably don't have 8 to 12 catalysts just sitting in your inventory, crafted, ready to go, right? You'll need to craft those, and each one takes around 7 hours to make. Multiply that by the minimum 8 catalysts you need, and that's 56 hours of crafting time. So what are those guides saying now? Just run the Asylum, get to level 40 in 24 minutes, and then what? Wait 7 hours for your next catalyst? Sure, sounds great if you enjoy staring at a countdown clock for 6.5 hours. The reality is, you're not just farming XP, you're also farming materials for catalysts, gold and Kuiper to upgrade your mods. So even though the Asylum is a great XP grind, it's not giving you the full picture of what you really need to get the job done. So what's the better way? Let me break it down for you.
Let's do this!
Since catalysts are the real bottleneck, taking 7 hours to craft, you need to use that downtime wisely. You've got 2 paths to consider. So the first path is the Asylum plus resource farming combo. So what you're gonna do here is level up your Descendant in the Asylum with 6 runs in 24 minutes, boom. Then switch to a bunny and go farm materials for the catalyst. This takes about 25 more minutes for 3 resource farming activities. That's gonna give you enough resources. So that's 50 minutes for 40 levels, catalyst materials, and enough gold to level a single mod. Then repeat after crafting. The level and build method is my favorite. So instead of going mad repeating the Asylum, follow this 6-step process to completely level your Descendant and farm all the resources you need in just 40 minutes. So yeah, this is actually faster. This way you're building your stockpile for catalyst, energy activators, farming gold, Kuiper, and XP all at once. And you're not grinding the same mission over and over. It's designed specifically to avoid that. And I've created a couple of guides that you can download right now and get on your way. So I have one that's comprehensive, and this is the one I recommend, and we'll be starting here. And the other guide I have emits steps for farming energy activator materials, because at a certain point, you're just not spending those activators fast enough. And you don't want to continue crafting them if you're not spending them, because they cost 750,000 in gold each time and take up a crafting slot, and you only have 5 of those, and sometimes you need all 5. Oh, and as a bonus, don't forget about Enzo's encrypted vaults. And I've got a guide to show you how to optimize that process as well. You'll have everything you need in 15 minutes. The bottom line is this: catalysts are the time gate, and no matter how fast you can grind XP, you're still going to be stuck waiting on those catalysts to craft. So instead of torturing yourself with endless runs of the same mission, the Asylum, mix it up. Every activity contributes to the bigger picture, and trust me, it's way less mind-numbing. Okay, so let's walk you through this guide. The first one is going to get you everything you need to continue leveling the Descendant you're working on and others. So there's 6 activities included, and it's going to take you 40 minutes for the entire run. You're going to get about 2.3 million XP per hour, 1.3 million in gold, and 55k in Kuiper per hour. So this is everything you need to craft catalysts, and most of what you need for the energy activators. And to get these numbers, it's important that you equip a sensor with character XP gain modifier. Throw on whatever one you have there. That's what I did. It doesn't have to synergize with the build, but great if it does. And also, if you're leveling a weapon at the same time, which you might as well, a memory unit with firearm proficiency gain modifier is also a good idea. So there's 6 steps, and I do recommend doing it in this order. The earlier levels of a Descendant rack up faster than the later levels on a Descendant. Going from level 1 to 2 is going to cost you only 4,000 in XP, and going from level 39 to 40 is going to cost you 95,700 in XP. And so that's why you can run a single mission and come out with 25 XP levels, which is what we're going to be doing here. Also note that I did not have any XP boosters. So if you do that, that's going to push everything here 30% faster on the XP side, but you still need the resources for your catalysts and the gold for your mods and whatnot. So some of these extra runs are based on those drops. So you're going to want to start off at the Asylum, and you're going to do 2 runs there. Each run is going to take about 3.5 minutes, and that will depend on your team. So you're going to spend a total of about 7 minutes at the Asylum. Now, these are just run times, so any downtimes you have outside of actually running the mission isn't included in this guide. So keep your downtime to a minimum to minimize this process. So you're going to come out of step 1 with 25 levels. You could come out with a little bit less, but it should be relatively close. Now, step 2, go to the chapel. This is the Echo Swamp mission. It goes pretty quick, and you only need to do this once. It's going to take about 5 minutes, and you're going to come out of that with 5 levels. So if these missions don't have something you're actually looking for in regards to patterns, I recommend shooting for the default one that gives you the catalyst. You spend those way faster than you do activators. So next, you're going to go to Old Mystery. This is going to take you about 5 minutes, and you'll come out with about 3 levels. From there, you're going to go to Sterile Land and to the Unknown Lab. This is also going to take you about 5 minutes, and you'll come out with approximately 2.5 levels. Now you're done with the missions. It's time to do some open world activities. So you're going to head to the fortress and then to Command Relay. You're going to spend about 8 minutes there. This is a very popular and busy spot, so there's most likely a couple of bunnies running around. And just to be clear, steps 5 and 6 are a little bit flexible, so adjust accordingly. I like to stick around for about 8 minutes because in that time frame, I stack up around 52 polyatomic ion particles. You need 72 every time you craft an energy activator. By the time you completely level up your Descendant with all of its catalysts, you should have enough particles to craft approximately 6 energy activators. So don't stress out exactly about how many resources you come out with, and you should come out of this with about 2 levels. The last one, step 6, is the outskirts, and this is more important than the Command Relay, which is also why I put it at the end. So whatever levels you have left, you want to spend that time on this mission. So if you have extra levels, because maybe you skipped the Command Relay, then that's good, because the outskirts is a really good farm. It gives you advanced neural circuits, and you can never have enough of those. It requires 18 every time you craft a catalyst, and you're crafting so many of those, it's really good to bulk up on this stock. It takes about 3 minutes per run. If you spend at least 9 minutes there, then you're gonna get about 48 advanced neural circuits and about 2.5 levels. But it's also gonna drop tons of gear, gold, and Kuiper. So this is just a really good place to end your farm. So at the bottom of each of these guides, I have included a section for encrypted vault farming, because the reality is, both for catalysts and energy activators, you have to hack these vaults in order to get some of your supplies. For catalysts, it's the mixed energy residue that only comes from vaults. For the energy activators, it's the conductive metallic foil that you're looking for. Just a quick note, the low carbon activator is not included on this list. You can get these easily by completing the outpost in Kingston. So when you need to craft your energy activators, that's the place to go for this resource, but I didn't include it in the XP steps. Due to the downtime required at outposts, it just isn't worth going there for part of your XP process, even though you actually need this material in the end. So just note that. That's why it's not on this list. So if you spend 15 minutes and open 9 encrypted vaults, then you're going to come out with about 308,000 Kuiper shards, 65 mixed energy residues, and 32 conductive metallic foils. So RNG is going to dictate your actual results because of the level of vaults that you're going to encounter. Now, I did all of these with an Enzo on hard. That means you're going to get more resources. So I recommend doing it that way. And so the results I'm showing you here is a variety of vaults at all levels. So this is an accurate reflection of RNG, I believe. So the 3 zones you're going to want to focus in on, of course you can go outside of these, but I recommend the Agna Desert Mirage Stone and Vermilion for your catalyst mixed energy residues. So the red markers are really easy to get to from fast travel points and are the ones that I do most often. If you have trouble finding vaults, if there isn't one, it's probably because somebody snagged it on the public map. You can just skip all of that if you want to by setting your map to private before you fast travel to these points. Next, you're going to want to go to Vespers, Timberfall, and I've marked all the locations that you can find those vaults.
Let's do this!
Okay, here's the second guide I created for you, and this one skips the steps that acquire materials for your energy activators. So with this one, it's going to be 5 activities. It's going to take you 39 minutes. You're going to come out with about the same XP in gold and Kuiper, and it's the list on the right that changes, and the real changes were in the amount of patterns that you get, and you're now picking up some shards with this one, which is pretty cool. So what's interesting about this is that you only have 5 steps, yet the time to complete this one and the one I just showed you is about the same. They're only a minute difference. And that's because it's RNG on the materials for the catalysts that slow you down the most. So there's just a minimum amount of runs on those particular activities to net a significant amount of materials for crafting those catalysts. Otherwise, we know, well, when it comes to XP, you can do it as fast as 24 minutes by just running the Asylum over and over again. We're starting off with the Asylum on this one, and now we're only doing 1 run there. And then we're gonna go to the chapel, we're gonna do that run, and then we're going to the Unknown Laboratory for another 5 minutes. You should be around 27 levels. And now what you're gonna do for step 4, there's a big change. You're gonna go to Special Operations at the Sterile Land. This is gonna pick up about 11 levels if you can make it all the way to the end with your team, which you can do, and most teams stick around to the end on this one because it's so fast. You can complete it in about 16 minutes. And you're also coming out with patterns to farm catalysts. You get lots of gold, and this is going to get you those void shards, those 115 void shards, and those are very important. Special ops is how I get my void shards. It's how I've always gotten my void shards, and I have no void shard issues. You're still going to finish off in the outskirts because you need those advanced neural circuits. So you're still going to spend about 9 minutes there because you're looking for the same quantity, and you'll come out again with about 3 levels. There's more than one way to skin this cat, but this is using all the data that I have available at my fingertips to put together an efficient route and collect all the materials we need to craft those very essential items to level up your Descendant. And if you have some great ideas to share with the community, I'm all ears. Let me know what you guys think. Catch you on the next one. Thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Tuxedo Bandido. That's Tito Bandido.
One and only.
And this was another episode of The First Descendant. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The First Descendant. And if you like videos like this, check out the one I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy or download anything for the First Descendant, be sure to use Tux's creator code to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.